Good morning and welcome to the Late to Work podcast. I'm your host, Parker, and thank you so much for joining today. I'm happy to have each and every one of you listening to this podcast, and I hope you're having a great morning. I'm having a great morning for the most part. It's raining outside, which I don't love the rain. And how is your morning going? I wish you a great Tuesday. I'm kind of sick right now. I've got a stuffy nose and my throat really hurts. I've been coughing all day, and and I don't like being sick, but it happens. We're gonna jump right into this podcast with a submission from Jeff, and Jeff would like to talk about some crazy occurrences that he's had in life. So Jeff, take it away.
Hey Parker, thanks for having me on. Hey, my name is Jeff, and got to share about some chance meetings that I've had in my life. Really unusual circumstances where things just worked out, and I saw people that I either knew or had some connection to, and really ironic stuff. And it seems like this has happened to me more than most people, and I'm really curious if anybody else has had these kind of things happen at this rate. So the first one is not that big of a deal. My wife and I were traveling. Recently, we were out west, and on the way back, we got stranded in Denver. My best friend lives in Denver, and I called him up. It was about 8 o'clock at night, and it didn't work out. He's like, I'm in Seattle, and he couldn't talk, so I like, okay, that didn't work out. Well, he texts me like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we are literally stuck in the airport all night. And he says, are you still in Denver? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, wow. I've got a red eye back from Seattle. I'll be there at 5. You want to have breakfast? So sure enough, we had breakfast with him. Great time. We caught up. It was awesome. My wife hasn't seen him since we got married almost 30 years ago. And it was really cool. And it was just, all of us were so amazed that this thing worked out. Just spur of the moment, wild. And so that was really cool. Kind of a little effort there. Stuff worked out, and obviously that was cool, but just a little bit ironic. So the next one, a little, a degree further remote that this happened. So it goes back some years. I was living in Iowa. A competitor wanted to hire me, so I was interviewing with them, and they flew me out to the the East Coast. And on the flight back, I had a 3-hour layover in Cincinnati, Ohio. And at the time, Delta had a huge hub there. A lot of traffic, a lot of flight traffic back and forth. And this terminal, the C terminal where I was just packed with people, just teeming with people. And I'm walking around just trying to kill time, 3-hour layover. And I physically bumped into my boss. And I was like, oh my goodness. And the last person I wanted to see was my boss. And he's like, what are you doing in this airport? Fortunately, I'd taken the day off. I had a suit on, kind of looked obvious. And I was like, well, what does it look like? Anyway, we both got a chuckle out of it later, but a little awkward for a minute. And just amazing, ironic stuff. So the last one, this was maybe a year or two ago. I travel quite a bit for my job, and I was about 7-hour drive from home, staying at a hotel, had dinner with colleagues, got up to my room, did a bunch of work. It was about 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'd like to go down. There's a nice restaurant, bar area, and I thought, there are a lot of people down there, so I thought, I'm going to go down and hang out and just chat with some people and have a drink. So I go down and sit with these guys. They're talking, and I joined in, and one of the guys left after a few minutes, and so the other guy and I kept talking, and talking about work and stuff, and after a while it turned to kids a little bit, and finally I said, well, where in the world are you from? And he goes, oh, I live in Michigan. I said, oh, what part of Michigan? He goes, oh, I live in Grand Rapids. I said, oh, really? You live there long? He goes, oh, yeah, all my life. I said, oh, where'd you go to high school? He goes, oh, I went to Union. I said, when'd you graduate? Well, no, before that I said, my wife went to Union. I said, what year did you graduate? He goes, 82. I said, wow. I said, did you know Nancy Wysocki? And he said, yeah, I took her to the prom. And I said, no way. And he goes, yeah. And I'm just blown away. He's like, yeah, we went to the prom. She's a nice girl. She was I didn't really know her too well, but she was really sweet, and she was on the homecoming court, and everybody really liked her, and I just thought it'd be fun to go out with her. And, well, how do you know her? I said, well, she's my wife. And he turned white. And I don't know why he didn't make the connection earlier, but he didn't. And he's like, dude, I did not touch her, didn't lay a hand on her, I didn't even kiss her. I picked her up, went to the prom. It was kind of a bad prom, it was boring, and I took her home, and I went out with my buddies. And he was the whole time trying to convince me that nothing happened, and I was just having fun. But we had a good chuckle about it. We got to be friends and chat and get to talk about our families and stuff, so it was really cool. But what irony. It was just wild coincidence, chance happening. So, hey, if anybody else out there has had like these kind of things happen to them, I'd be really curious to hear about it. So, hey, hope y'all are not late to work today. And Parker, again, thank you.
And we're back. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sharing. That's always really interesting, hearing people's point of view on life. And it's true, crazy stuff happens sometimes, stuff that you couldn't even predict. So thanks for sharing. Hope to have you back on the podcast. And if you would like to submit at some point, feel free to share your thoughts and record yourself on your phone for like 1 to 4 minutes. Just some crazy ideas you have in life or memories. And email it to latetoworkpodcast@gmail.com. And you'll have the chance to win a monthly Starbucks gift card giveaway. And who doesn't like that? So submit, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about me being sick, and I've heard different remedies. Some people have like really crazy remedies for being sick. Some people talk about like minerals or like crazy stuff that will help you, or just eat lots of vegetables. But one of them, which is disgusting, but surprisingly works. I don't know how it works, but if you eat garlic, like raw garlic, or just, I don't know if you call it minced garlic, but it comes in a jar and it's like all crunched up. If you eat like a tablespoon of that right when you're getting a cold or you're getting sick, or even during it, it's been proven that can prevent your cold from happening or from it getting worse. And if you've ever tried it, it's you won't forget it. It's like the most disgusting thing you'll probably ever eat. It's probably the hardest thing to swallow. It's freaking disgusting. I think the reason it probably works is because you swallow it and your body is like so in shock that you were willing to swallow something that disgusting that it just turns the attention from you being sick just to the garlic. And it's like, what the heck, dude? What did you just swallow? And it's confused for like 5 hours, just like trying to know what to do with this thing. Then it just like, the cold just gets left alone and like just dies or something. I don't know. That's my theory. Maybe that's not it, but that's what I think. And it works pretty well. I was really sick a couple days ago, but I'm getting better now. So that and vitamin C are good. And that concludes the podcast for today. Thanks again for joining. Hope you have a great Tuesday, and I'll catch you on next podcast. See you later.